the first thing I think of, and I'm sorry to LGD and LGD's fans. So I guess I'm kind of sorry to myself. I'm sorry to the team as well, because that is just like a reference they probably are so sick of hearing already. As luckily they can't see Vici at the moment, so maybe Vici do have a stack of papers that they're just kind of looking at right now. Who really knows? But now we're into the draft for game one. I mean, this is exciting. I always love getting a chance to do a best of five. Like you said, it's not too often that we get to do them, but I usually get to do like a couple of DPLs a year where I get to see a best of five, and those are usually a good time. I think only once have I seen like a 3-0 in all the years that I've done like DPL and all that stuff. So this is kind of like that. It's a Chinese region league. Like, I'm very excited. So I don't know. I hope we see Timbersaw. We were saying, grand final is where we were finally going to see Timbersaw get picked. He's not going to be banned every single game we see him. It's finally going to come to the point where we get ourselves a Timbersaw pick. And on top of that, before we start talking about the draft, I looked at it on Wikipedia. I just want to say, if you're listening, DY, happy birthday, or somebody translate that for him, because it is his birthday. He is another year older, another year around the sun. He's 23 years old, young kid. Even though
we're both
27, old. I'm kind of young. Yeah, I feel like I'm old. I'm up there. 27's up there. I mean, I'm wearing my dad's blazer that's from the 80s. I'm just kind of aging myself out of the entire scene right now. It's kind of nuts.
Can never age yourself out the scene. We've got red eye. It's fine.
Yeah, I can't out age anybody. That's true. So if I'm younger than anybody, I'll be fine. It'll be a good day.
I love how you talked about the old TI as well between LGD and OG. I remember being out in London for that and just losing my mind the whole night. It was crazy. It was such a good night.
Dude, being there as a huge OGD fan, watching them just kind of like throw it away, I was just like, oh my God. I was in some heartbreak. I have like a Samsung 360 camera. I took video of the grand finals and when it ended, and I thought it was going to be this exciting video where I'd be cheering. It's a video of the entire crowd going nuts and me just in awe going, what happened to my team? And then I started cheering because I was awesome that we saw OG win. So I got over it pretty quickly.
Okay, so let's talk about the draft quickly.
Okay,
well, I say quickly. It's going to be like at least the next 10 minutes, but we have lots of support bans from Vici, which is fair enough. That Shadow Demon especially. Chen's one I'm surprised about. We haven't seen a huge amount of Chen this tournament.
We only saw it from Old 11.
Oh, we did, actually. Yeah, that's true. The core Chen. I was going to say Oracle and Grimstroke are the two left in the pool that I think stand out most to me in terms of position 5s. I mean, some people have liked the Liches as well, if they want to go for that. Because now you see this Oracle, you're like, well, do we really want to pick Grimstroke still? Like, it's still a good hero, but, having all the defensive capabilities available to deal with Inkswell, with the Purge, I don't know if they want to go for that still or not. Like, Grimstroke Ember's still in the pool, right? So, they go for it anyway.
And there's the Ember. This time I don't owe you $10.
Oh, you do?
Oh, well, I mean, I still do. I'm just saying, not an additional $10.
Just a general rule of thumb,
Yeah, thank God. It's not every time Ember Grimstroke gets picked up, or I'd be in a lot of trouble because there's a lot of competitive Dota going on right now. So Mars gets picked by Vici. We've seen this hero quite a bit, and I'm going to open up the page because I know I like looking at the stats. I am not as smart as Nahaz, but I do love stats. Not nearly as much, but I do love looking at the stats we get. And Mars, we've seen he's not having a good time. He is 2-9, sitting with a pretty low 18% win rate. It's bad. It's
good,
disgusting. And it's bad. I don't know what the deal is. Grimstroke is not that high either. He's gone up since we've started talking about his percent win rate, though. He's now at 29% overall, the Ember at 54%, and the Oracle at 60%. Actually, quite up there.
I think Oracle's in a really good place at the moment. Well, and they get Ricky. Okay, so obviously you have the Grimstroke on your team, so the Ricky instantly gains value, but you're also against the Mars, so it's probably one of the better matchups in the game overall. You get that Blink Strike, you hit him from behind. But again, already they have 2 melee cores. They play well with Inkswell. I'm assuming FY can play Ember POS4 if needed. I haven't actually seen it before from him, I don't think, but so they probably still have some flex value. The other thing I like about this Riki is that they need someone that can jump the Oracle first in fights, right? And Riki kind of just does that, with especially when he gets the cast range talent on Blink Strike. His initiation range is crazy.
And I'd love to see the 4 position Riki come back out further.
Oh no!
More than just the few series I got to see it during this event.
Please stop.
It was actually just like a 1 series. The 1 series that you weren't there, that's when it happened twice. It was kind of weird. And
but that was every time, right? I bet.
Probably. No, it was LGD's series. I think early on in the tournament, and they weren't. Were they in the same group?
Yeah, they were. Was it Keen?
No, they weren't. It was eHome, Aster, and it might have been Aster who played the 4 position Riki twice in the first 2 games. Yeah, they played Fade Riki, which went 1-9 the first time, and then it went 6-5 and 15. Wasn't terrible the second game.
You see this Venge B-Cup, what does it make you think of from this tournament?
A lot of swapping, that's for sure. And a 1 position Venge.
So this is what I mean. Like your Venge hero now enables so many different heroes that could come through. Like even things like this Duso that we saw from Aster before, I thought was really good. Could be another potential Vici pick. You know, they have they have the double save. So like the way their lineup's built at the moment, thinks they're ready to pick this like massive core. So something like TB, which could potentially be there as well, is banned out. So what kind of direction do Vici want to go here?
To go with that Venge, it's actually been in 3 games and it's won all 3 games.
Oh, so what you're saying is Vici going to win this game then?
I mean, if stats don't lie, which I've heard that phrase before, yeah, it looks like Vici wins.
I'd really like to see something like, I don't know, potentially a Nyx here or a Clock or some kind of like roaming hero that can invade jungle, especially. I think is really important here, like early on. Roaming Pudge guy.
Don't even joke. Don't even joke about the Pudge. Can't see that thing back in the scene. It's out. It's gone. Get it out. Ooh, and this is one of the things that you were early in the tournament. If you guys haven't watched the entire tournament, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, as we were getting like our first LGD games, me and Mo together, which we do get this Medusa, just want to mark that out, that Mo called it right again. I don't owe him any more money. But Mo was very excited about seeing the Nature's Prophet with LGD because they played it in so many positions, and or two, they're also like one of the only teams to really utilize this hero in the Chinese region. They do play it in the 1 position for Chalice. They play it in the 5 for X Nova. Like they're pretty versatile with it, and it's exciting how they play this hero. So I know, Mo, you were really exciting for it. I saw your face, got really happy, and then you got the Medusa call, so I got even happier. So
yeah, that's true.
You're getting it right all over the place.
The double win, I like this.
I think a quintuple win at this point. You got the Grimstroke Ember too, getting everything.
True. Don't want to big myself up too much though. It's only game 1, you know. If I'm still calling it by game 5. Then...
Oh my god.
We haven't had a Timber ban B-Cup. What's going on?
He's going to get picked right here. It's a 4 position Ember.
Could be position 4 Nature's Prophet though as well, right? Yeah. There's a few different things they can do. Nature's Prophet Ember sounds like an okay lane with like a 3 and a 4. I wouldn't mind that too much. But the thing I do like about OGD's lineup is we talked about how they needed someone that can invade jungle and things. They now have this Riki that can run around. But Ember, if this is their tricore, Ember, Riki, Nature's Prophet, they have 3 really strong heroes at playing the tempo game, which I think is super important when you're playing against this Dusa. And none of them rely on cooldowns for anything, right? So they're going to be constantly running at her. And we saw versus Aster, who was it that was playing against them? Was it IG? I can't remember, but Aster, the way they played this Dusa is they would protect her at all costs with like good vision around their mid lane, making sure everybody was in the right position to protect her. And so LGD have to be able to take fights early on, which they definitely do at the moment. And I think this Grimstroke is definitely probably the key part of that. definitely, probably.
Are you talking about the Game Master played Medusa and they were up against Vici?
Was it
Juan
Vici?
went 10-1-7.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he destroyed that game.
Yeah, he
on
did.
Medusa. And I know Ori really likes this hero. I'm pretty sure Euros plays it as well. So I mean, I imagine it's going to be Ori in the mid lane, but we'll have to see. I also wonder whether they're going to put this Venge Pos 1 or whether they put the Oracle and the Venge as the support duo and then pick like a different hero here.
Timber 1. Somebody's got to pick Timber right here.
That's not great.
Please.
I mean, they could pick Timber on LGD.
Ooh.
I love this pick. This is awesome.
So, I just want to shout them out right now. Drez to Kill called that in chat. And that was... He said they will Dusa and Sardar. Sardar, I don't even think has been picked in this tournament. I
think it
maybe
has.
once. He's been picked once, and that was the first day of the tournament.
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite the call. Oh, that guy, $10.
Yes. PayPal win. Yeah, I really like this. Actually, they're going to play the Mars as well as the core. So they have these two really tanky like core offlaners. They've got these two save supports. Their lineup, the whole lineup's just built around this Dusa, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, it's FY Ricky though.
Oh, it is the 4 Ricky.
I didn't even look at the last pick from LGD.
There it is.
I was too excited by the Slaughter.
That is a greedy 4 because it's like if they play it the way I saw it when Fade played it, it's a diffusal first item into a blink dagger, which is such an odd build because you've got the blink strike, so you're basically like blinking and then blink just to get onto the supports in the backlines, trying to get onto Oracle. And like that's it. You're just trying to blink onto Oracle, get the silence down, make sure you can't get the false promise out. When you've got that blink dagger and the diffusal, you put the diffusal on them. He's in the smoke screen. He doesn't do anything in these fights, and that's the plan as a 4-position Ricky.
I like the PL pick overall in the game. Like you have Doppelganger to take off the Slardar, amplifying the damage with his ult. It's a hero that can match up against the Dusa when you get the diffusal blade as well. You try and rip through a mana really quickly. It does okay against Mars because you can escape the arena as well with Doppelganger. I just worry that their draft's a little bit more greedy now than it potentially could have been. And I think a lot of this game is going to rest on FY and whether he can get to this backline with the support duo. Because if not, they don't really have great ways of dealing with them. It's kind of only really FY. Like there's an Ember that can jump all the way in, but he's probably going to be having to deal with cores most of the fight anyway.
You should have known
LGD, they don't even do the smoke down mid this time to get wards down. Vici are the ones that actually end up going first.
Place that ward down. Nobody here. We'll see if they get the D ward on it. But, ooh, okay. It's actually a second ward here and a ward here, and they were placed at the same time.
Yes, yeah. But Ember placed this one behind the trees as well. So and the other team was smoked. So you know. Oh, Ori gets a little bit of XP from the tree. All right, Vici have won. They got the XP advantage already. We haven't even had the horn.
When you're giving up that kind of advantage, you know, it's just you're asking to lose the game. That 20 experience is, and I don't know the exact number. I'm just kind of guessing there.
X Nova. Oh no.
Oh boy, he's in trouble. He's dead. Oh god, Eurus getting that first blood on X Nova. So not only did you give the Trine away, but you gave up the first kill.
And Vici got 3 bounty routes because Slardar managed to nick one top as well on his side. And actually, I quite like this laning setup from Vici. You know, they got the Dusa a nice 1v1 mid. Are they going to swap Eurus and... Maybe they feel like they need the Mars up against the Nature's Prophet. It's their big go-to. because I thought Slider did okay in that lane, but Mars definitely does better. Because you can clear through the trees a lot easier as well with the God's Rebuke.
Ooh, Medusa. Jeez. Yeah, a whole bunch of damage.
She has 4 CS though. She has every single last hit on the first wave. It's pretty good.
I also just want to say it's the laning shuffle. Laning shuffle. Everybody loves the laning shuffle. Taking a look though at FY getting hit with the magic. So they have a setup for this spear, and Somnus's courier goes down over mid. Ooh. So not dead for that long. We'll have it back in time to grab a bottle when he's got the gold, but Ori now gets a tree and gets a courier. He's having a great time over mid.
That was so sick as well, because Ori got to see that courier coming sooner than he would have normally, because he has the ward on the other side of the river. So that he saw it as soon as it like came up to the tier 1. So he just moved forward and, yeah, free courier.
Grimstroke going to come up towards top, so they'll tri-lane it here as they've got a tri-lane for Vici. That makes it a 1v1 bottom of the Nature's Prophet up against that Slardar. And good stroke of fate, preventing the pull.
If they got TPs on the dire side, they do.
Oof. That Mystic Snake really doing some damage here on the Somnus, forcing him to pop that salve. Courier back up for him. 25 gold away from that bottle. So Somnus will take this last creep wave and, or he'll try.
Oh.
You know, certainly just trying to get some CS here. But he's got enough for the bottle. He'll probably... Does he just go for it and get sent? Okay, I was going to think maybe he might hold it for the Wraith Band, but he's also then got to get those last hits to get to that point.
Yeah, he definitely needs the regen in this lane. Look at this Deuce. This Snake is so horrible to lane against. What a ridiculous skill. He needs to get the 3 points of Flame Guard so that a Snake isn't instantly going to take the Flame Guard off of him. I think unless... or he gets like a really massive Snake bounce that takes it off.
Snake span now, but
oh, no Flame Guard.
Used to be bad before. Goes into the early split shot too. I'm a bit shocked at that.
This is something we saw the other Tron on the Deucer do. He took it at level 2, which I found really weird. But yeah. Normally we see people just hold the skill points. But to be fair, if you're constantly poking away with the harass damage, then it's not a bad skill point. He's already got more regen coming out. He might... He has to be so careful here.
Flame Guard just the last second. Riki taking a lot of damage. So does the Venge. PYW goes down. FY will get credit for that kill. And we get a quick pause. This time it's Eurus. It's not Chalice, who obviously we saw was lagging a bit one of the games when he played that Clockwork.
Contract complete.
So the 4-minute rune going to be coming soon, by the way. I wonder if any of the other heroes will come and try and secure the runes. I think FY might end up coming. You know, he's not really too healthy at the moment, so could consider coming towards that mid lane to try and secure a rune. Which it looks like he will.
This is ours.
Wants to try and secure that one for his Ember.
Yeah, if he could secure this, that would be pretty significant. But now, it's the 4-minute mark, and it is here bottom. There's the haste. He just has to get to it, and he will. He'll come all the way across. He'll take some damage for it, or you're just harassing him. All of a sudden, it feels really bad to just go for this haste rune.
I like the glyph though as well, just to make sure he doesn't miss out on too much in the middle lane.
But Somnus with the haste. Need to still be just a bit careful.
I think Ori has to be careful, to be honest. He's still, like, when he doesn't have Snake up, like, he's got Mango, which is fine, right? But... Oh, FY gets the courier. Do they have a vision down in the river for that? I think he just walked into it. Bot lane as well, they're going on old 11.
Oh, there's the magic missile with the bash, but old 11. So they're in crush. Sprout, oh! Old 11! He just needs to get away from this. Stroke of Fate slows him up, and they get the kill!
I like the preemptive tip from
awesome.
FY as well. That was very nice.
Fast tip from FY. Wow. Old 11.
Yeah.
No, that was a very, incredible play with that Sprout.
I assume he's going to go for like a physical damage resistance build this game, where he goes like Solar Crest Crimson or something. I feel like you really want the Crimson up against Dusa, but also, they've got minus armor as well, so the Solar Crest would be very handy. I mean, he could go for the Orchid build if he wants. I just don't think... I think he just dies, like, straight away every single time. Maybe he goes like Medallion Orchid instead, but... I'm not really a Nature's Prophet player. I've tried to play that hero before, but my micro is awful, so I don't even bother. So, like, I don't really understand why people build certain items when. But be interesting to see.
Look at these,
Bot lane.
all these treants here. Bash, Southern Crush, Magic Missile, DY coming in. He'll have the Fortune's End too. This time, Old 11 won't get away. DY, the master of taking the kill with the Purifying Flames, does it once again. Comes in.
Great D ward. Because this Dusa has to feel really unsafe now in comparison, right? Whereas if it's like, if they have that ward there, they feel so safe and they feel so good. And they're just going to bully Ori out this jungle. And this is what I wanted to see against the Dusa before, and it didn't happen. But this game, LGD know what's up. They have to make her life a misery.
And that is a bunch of cyberbullying right there.
Get that ward from X-Nova as well. Seems to be one of his favorites at the moment.
Yeah, it's been one that I liked. I think the last time he placed it, it immediately got dewarded, though. This time, the sentry doesn't hit it, so it won't be dewarded immediately. And you take a look, is DY now in trouble? X-Nova's here too, so they've got 3 heroes. Magic Missile comes in as the rotation from Yang and PYW. Whoa. A lot of boys coming over, but the Wrath of Nature rips through PYW as well as Ori. If they could just get the Inkswell off, they should be able to trade some kills. They get X-Nova, but PYW goes down. The Bash is out, and Old 11, FY trying to do what he can. Old 11 now on the run. One more shot comes in. Double kill for Ori.
Has a snake in 1 second.
3 for 2. Mystic Snake. Tricks of the Tree doesn't actually avoid it, so that'll allow Yang to get the last shot and the kill. 4 heroes gone for LGD. I don't know if they were expecting that.
Yeah, I love this
massive
as well.
Rotations.
They just sent all their heroes to protect the Dusa, and this is how important the Dusa here is. Like, look at this ward on the high ground, the Radiant ward. Like, they just want to protect the Dusa at all costs, and it doesn't matter who TP's in, or like, as long as they just make sure she's carrying on farming, that's the main priority for them here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it'll be interesting to see if Vici know that this ward is here, because like we said, X-Nova has done this in previous games. So if they've done their homework, they might realise that this is a potential ward spot. Or Faded Brooch for the Dusa. He's going to send it
back. He's got the Ocean Heart. Meanwhile, again, FY goes down, and this Slardar is really taking over a bit.
Yeah, I love that he's not rushing Blink as well on Yang. Like we said, their lineup's built around the Dusa, so they need these utility items, like the pipes, like the Crimsons, to just, make the Dusa tanky, let her stand in the front line, get all her damage off. And PYW's gone for the 1-1-3 build on Venge as well. So, that extra attack range for the Dusa as well is really nice, the extra 10 primary attributes. Double stacking from PYW, or at least attempting.
Where he comes over, he's going to want to clean up these stacks. Stacks on stacks on stacks. Picks up a broom handle and a keen optic. So Ori just the neutral item boss. Maybe. But here comes Somnus, and they'll get the stun on X-Nova. They'll also bring in Old 11, but he's already got the Corrosive Haze on him. FY into the Sprout, Tricks of the Trade, Remnant forward. On the run still is Ori, who's getting some help here from Yang. A 2-man Southern Crush, but that Mystic Snake doesn't bounce onto the rest of LGD, and Yang's just going to die in this situation. LGD come out with no numbers gone.
This warding from X-Nova is crazy. Look at where they were farming. Look, they instantly deward the ward. They're like, okay.
Oh, but that might cost DY his life.
He's fine.
He'll be okay. And that's... Hold on, I'll say it when this fight finally ends. But that's one of the things that I think, if you know X Nova, which you should know him if you watch competitive Dota, that's like his most known trait as a pro player, is how good his warding is. I think that was one of the things they talked about during that TI8 run and during TI9, was the fact that somehow, some way, X Nova's warding is always so amazing.
He's crazy good at that.
Yeah.
And he, like you say, he has been for a long time now, it feels like.
Eurus comes in, Spear will lock up the Phantom Lancer, but this is all just to get the bounty rune. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, they've got the Ink Swell. They'll spot PYW. The swap won't get him far enough away from the popping of that Ink Swell, and now they'll find DY. They also have Eurus, who goes into the arena, but they've got the Remnant as well as the Doppelganger just to get out of it, so the Mars arena really doesn't feel that effective against these heroes of LGD. However, they just don't want to dive too far. They've got Yang, who can give the Corrosive Haze and really make this fight a struggle as Ori comes in. Looks over at Old 11 with the Stone Gaze. The only one turning the stone is Chalice. F5 finally makes the jump, and they're starting to get around this Medusa. They'll finish off Ori, and they're just continuing to clean up some of these kills. Wave of Terror comes through, but that is only a level 1 Wave of Terror. It's still armor reduction regardless, but they're not going to get anything with it.
LGD are playing this tempo game so well at the moment. Like, they understand how strong they are on their heroes right now. Like, this Ember can just run around. They don't really stop him that well. Yang didn't have TP on the Slard, are they? Which I think is the main reason, you know, that fight goes so badly. Maybe if Yang has TP, then they can play. But he has his Vanguard now, so he can basically just run into fights. And like, what's he scared of? Because PL's like constant right-click damage. Ember's like mixed, but then the Nature's Prophet and the Riki are just constant poke and right-click damage. So, you know, especially with this Ink Swell being level 1 from X Nova, which I'm massively surprised about, by the way. Yeah, I feel like this Slala is going to be a big issue for LGD right now.
So let's see as they get together over me. Does X Nova have smoke? He does. Vlad's finished off for Old 11.
When you least expect it.
Nobody making a move just yet, but they will try to get this outpost. I'll immediately stop it because Yang's around. And it is wand into the Fusel Blade for the Riki after picking up those phase boots, something we talked about. And there's the Ink Swell with the Blink Strike. Tricks of the Trade comes in. Old 11 starts with Yang's Courier, then moves over and turns his attention onto Yang. He's silenced, but a lot of numbers coming in. There's the arena. They should get this kill on X Nova. X Nova no Soulbind, so nothing to throw out even if he were off this spear. But they've got the Corrosive Haze. They'll hit the first hit bash on the FY, and now the Slithering Crush follows it up. A lot more minus armor with the Wave of Terror coming in, and you see that Yang's just able to chunk out this Riki. All the while, though, Ori up towards top is getting forced behind his tier 1 tower, and they're still chasing. Corrosive Haze on a Somnus, looking to get those 3 shots so he can finally get the bash. You need to be careful, Somnus, but good slight with the Searing Chains. Yang in trouble, ends up dead. PYW and DY, they'll make their appearance into this fight as Chalice is pressuring them pretty heavily. The Magic Missile hits onto Old 11, Ori getting away with a lot of damage, but they force the False Promise from DY onto himself. Swap comes in, Purifying Flames, as well as the last shot from Oriana Somnus. They get a kill into PYW. Medusa now looking for Old 11. Purifying Flames once again. Can DY find it? Yes, he can. Finishing off Old 11, and they got themselves the tower denied to top it all off.
Yeah, again, like they just throw everything on the line. When their Medusa's in trouble, Slada just TP's top. Like he dies for it, but always surviving there. And, you know, as the rest of the fight played out, it's just so good for them. And there's constant stacking coming through for Ori on this Medusa. I don't really know why X Nova has 3 points in this Phantom's Embrace at this point in the game. It's like really good against the Oracle and the Venge for their defensive saves, but like they have Ember PL Riki on their team, right? I guess he doesn't want to max the Ink Swell because there's an Oracle on the team or something, so that it would just get purged off every time. I don't really know, but that's what I'd assume at least.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Certainly interesting. It does make it 9 attacks to destroy, so pretty good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, 9 attacks is 3 attacks, right? But because it's 3 hero attacks, because each hero attack counts as 3. But
Radiant's
but like
bottom
even
tower
so,
is under
I don't know.
attack.
I guess it is just because of the purges
Radiant's bottom
coming
tower
up
has fallen.
that take off the ink swell or something.
Dire's top
old
tower
11.
has fallen.
Jesus. Snatches a bounty
getting
away
close.
there. Smart. And I said he'd go for physical damage and resistance. He's gone for the Vlad's first, which is like kind of the same thing, right? It gives you a bit more sustain, but he's also going for the Halberd next, which is kind of similar as well. But you know, they're playing up against this big Deucer lineup, and so the Halberd is really key for them.
Dire's structures
And she has
are
Deucer
fortified.
coming up. She has Manta, by the way, and a Courier Deucer if she wants to bring it out. Which I assume she will.
Never refuse good.
So she's sitting in the base for some reason.
Ink Swell on a creep. Won't pop.
Dire's middle tower is under
Blink
attack.
Dagger now for the
Dire's
Mars, so they
middle
have that
tower
initiation.
has
They've also got the Diffusal Blade finish now on Chalice. Southern Crush misses, but they've got the Stone Gaze. Searing Chains locks up DY as well as Eurus. Heal up Yang. FY looking for an opportunity to jump in, but now they've got the Corrosive Haze. FY, I'm not certain he's going to try and
arena's
walk
down.
into this. The arena's
What?
down, and FY just tricks the trades out. So Southern Crush through on a Chalice, going after DY. He'll false promise himself. Damage on PYW as well. Sleight of Fist does a lot there and also takes PYW's life. Inkswell stuns up this Medusa, but FY already gone. However, with no mana, this is a very susceptible Ori. He'll lose his life, and it's 2 gone on Vici for the 1 on LGD.
Middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
Eurus getting a little bit trigger happy there with the arena. I mean, if you catch the Ricky in the arena and then use the spear on him, then which he did, and but he missed the spear so that Ricky could just escape with tricks of the trade.
Radiant's
Like the
middle
fight's
tower
completely
has
different if
fallen.
they do manage to get the Ricky kill. Oh,
Ooh, looking for the combination.
Eurus having a rough start to this game.
He tried.
They did try, correct. And he does have Blink now for that combo, to potentially be up. Because this PR's gone for Diffusal first, so if you do ever root him, you can just chain stun follow up. Because there's no Manta online at the moment, especially. It makes it harder for him to dodge.
It's only 1,000 gold into this Diffusal Blade for the Ricky. This is probably the most aggressive game we've
spear.
seen in a while.
Ember?
They find the Ember, and Somnus gets the Flame Guard off. He'll start to run. Soulbind hits onto the Oracle. They take out DY, so they don't have a false promise to use. Granted, it was on cooldown for another 10 seconds. They'll focus their attention on Ori. The Inkswell misses a little bit short. Somnus moving forward. Great job by Yang to get the Blink Southern Crush. I believe that's the Blink reveal for this Sardar. Sleight of Fist once again. Stone Gaze comes in from Ori. Wave of Terror over the top. Let's see if they look to re-engage on this for LGD. They're by
love
their
how
tower
LG
for Vici, so it's tough.
I love how LGD are playing this game though. Just constant aggression, constant pressure. They're just not giving Vici this potential to ever feel safe on the map, right? Because if the thing is, if you allow Vici to set their ranks up properly, so that the Deuces at the front, Mars and Side are just behind, and the supports are further behind. Oh, spear. And they get a
Yeah,
fly.
Fly getting caught again.
Yeah, so if you ever allow Vici to get in a position where they're ready to fight and they're online, then
Another
so much better
spear.
for them.
Inkswell comes in. The damage on Somnus as well as Next Nova is heavily felt. But PYW ends up dead to Chalice behind enemy lines, and X Nova goes down, but Somnus retreats and gets out successfully.
Yeah, Sada has his blink now, so he is constantly hunting. Looking for those initiations. And Chalice, they see him here.
Diffusal slows up Eurus. Goes back in with Phantom Rush, which is a bit of a surprise, but that's because Old 11's coming back in. Just have the Quelling Blade. You're not going to hold him that much with the with the
top
Sprout.
tower is under attack.
Oh, they see Somnus on the Ember.
Is under attack.
Now they got the Fortune's End out as well as the Bash Spear, and that'll latch.
Nice arena as well.
Got the arena down on the Chalice. They're starting to do a little bit of damage here from the side of
Somnus is
LGD,
back.
but is it going to be enough? They ball back on this Ember. He's going to remnant forward. They've got the Soulbind onto the Sword Art as well as the Mars, but the damage on Ori is just too much for him to handle. Eurus, he also dies. 2 heroes gone on the side of Vici. They'll take out Yang, the 1-2-3 fall.
And they go Roche.
And right in a Roche, LGD will go.
A really good fight by LGD. Chalice there on the PL, I think they thought it was an illusion when it was the real one towards the end, but they tried to back away. Oh, DY? Where did DY die?
Oh. So, the spear also hit on this tree stump.
No,
So
it's normally a tree, right? But I think it got cut down, so.
But it was just a tree stump when he threw it, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think
I'll have to take another look, but...
No, that won't work. Like, it doesn't work on tree stumps.
That's what it looked like. I'll take a look at the replay on the last when I see it again.
But, I mean, anyway, though, right? So, this Vici lineup is so reliant on this Deucer getting her damage off in fights, right? To be able to, get all their damage off. Because this Mars and Slardar, as much as they are, like pseudo-damage dealers themselves, they're also kind of just, like, initiators and team fighters. And they want to be, the frontline brawly boys. But, this Halberd that's come out on the Nature's Prophet now is going to make Deuce's game so much harder. Like, if she gets Halberd up in the fight for, 5 seconds, I think, on range targets, then this Vici lineup, in that, 5 second duration, are really not going to be outputting damage. Especially when Chalice has this, Diffusal and Yasha. It's pretty crazy.
Ulele? Or Layla, maybe? I don't know.
Who knows? And Ember has Vanguard first as well, by the way, something we haven't talked about. So
yeah, we've seen this once before, right? The Vanguard on the mid Ember. I believe it might have even been Somnus too.
But look at how much better LGD are playing against this Deucer pick than Vici were before. Like the way that LGD want to play, and this quick tempo that we've seen lots of them throughout this tournament, is so good when they play into this Deucer lineup, because they're like, well, we want to run at you anyway. So you're picking this Deucer. We're gonna feel so good about this. Like, we're confident in our abilities to take these early skirmishes, these early engagements, especially with the heroes that we have. And this old 11 Nature's Prophet I think is the key to everything at the moment. It's like he's always getting onto the key targets in the fights, and he is actually going back for the Orchid now as well, which is interesting.
He's got that Heaven's Halberd, which we saw has been really effective on these Medusas in the past few series that we've seen him.
I just love how LGD are itemizing to play against this. I think it's so good. Like, obviously, this PL is going to go for Diffusal Mantis still, which is fine, right? But this Ember's going Vanguard to tank up against the 3. It's all physical damage. And then he goes back for Maelstrom. Then he's going to go for his Heaven Halberds of his own, which, we've already talked about how good this item is. And the effective HP he'll have between the Vanguard and the Halberd, giving him evasion, is going to be, fantastic for him.
Taking a look at these items around the horn.
I think Vici have to play around Ori's butterfly timing. I think that's going to be huge for them. Because
how much gold does he have right now?
He has like 2,100 gold on Deucer.
Okay, so not terribly close, but also not terribly far.
It's not terribly far, but at the same time, you have to remember that LGD have just picked up their Aegis, and they're going to keep running at you. So are you going to have the time to find time? I'm just tripping over my words this morning. What's happening?
It's first game, dude. We got 5 to go.
First game nerves. So what was I even talking about? Yeah, the butterfly. He's not far away, but LG is just going to run at him constantly here with the Aegis.
Yeah.
It's just such a good item versus this PL constantly poking him with all the illusions, though. Because effectively what you're doing is reducing, your damage intake by 35% up against this PL, which is better than any other item he can pick up at the moment. And it also increases your damage output massively. So I'd like to see Chalice, I think when you're playing up against this Deucer, that she's probably going to be going butterfly next. So I'd like to see him go for an MKB or something.
So right now it's actually Chalice who's disconnected, which makes me nervous.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not again.
I think I can check the status of people's pings if I write status in the console?
No idea.
But he has to be back for me to see it. I also don't want to risk that interfering with the game. Like, it's something I've never done in a game before, and I don't want to be like, oh, status, and then all of a sudden the lobby crashes or something. I'd never be forgiven. Production, you want to take that chance? Because I sure don't.
That's fine.
I just want to know when he comes back. It's something that I wish I had checked when he was playing that Clockwork game, how much ping he was playing on, because we just kind of assumed it was pretty high based on the way he was playing. And he was talking about it in chat too. He was saying like 1 second step, 2 second attack, 3 second hook. And I think that was not the proper translation, but that he was just talking about how, it was a really difficult game for him to play because of how much ping or packet loss he had too.
For sure.
We could interact with the chat if we want. We got some options here, Mo. It's up to you. Or, third option, could do some sponsors.
Oh God, no, please.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Not yet. You got to wait.
We haven't been
Be
paused long
patient.
enough.
Has to be the right moment.
Yeah.
Chat, if you want to ask us some questions. The game might have started by the time we see the questions, but even so. How does everybody think this game's going? What percentage are we favouring LGD at the moment? Because I don't think it's a huge amount.
Apparently, what was it? Somnus who said it?
Yes.
Yeah. It means here we go again.
Oh, Alice reconnected to the game, and I just
so
saw
there it is.
I just saw PL take a step forward. That was interesting. In the pause.
So I want to check. I want to check the status. I really, really do.
Don't do it. Speak up.
I don't want to
ruin
crash
the game
lobby,
for everybody.
I don't want to mess it up. I'm scared,
Not
guys.
worth it.
I have no confidence. Oh, jeez. No. Joe, don't G.
Go.
Don't go. Oh, God. This is not how I want this to go.
This is so sad as well because, like we talked about in the upper bracket final, I think Vici played a lot better than LGD, right? In that upper bracket final. But then at the same time, you have to think that if Chalice was having ping issues, that kind of takes away from the victory a little bit for Vici. Because, these guys want to beat LGD, but they want to do it right. Winning this, it's great for the money and everything, but... Oh, there's just a dragon scale on the...
It's all about being the best team in China at the moment.
There was the dragon scale on the floor, by the way, that this Grimspirit just picked up. I'm pretty sure this was Old 11 farming it before, and he didn't realise because he hit it with an ult or something. Which is probably one of the worst bits about playing Nature's Prophet.
Radiant are scanning.
So, what was I going to say? Well, yeah, here's what's going to happen. We're going to finish this game. Chalice is going to be lagging. And all of a sudden, the phone rings. Who's on the other line? It's Ame. Ame picks up the phone. Comes in to stand in the finals.
Oh, no.
The band's back together.
Why did... Oh, I see. I was going to say, why did Ori just sell a Wraithband instead of a Tango to buy up the Eagle Song? But he's playing against Nature's Prophet, so he wants the way to get out of the Sprout, which is fair enough. I was about to go mental, but I was actually just being stupid. Oh, that Nether Shell's so bad for the Radiant side. Oh dear, what a bad item. They just don't have any spell damage. I guess like maybe DY, but he really wants the Keen Optic. Cast range is just better.
Illusion's coming in, forcing Yang away. Let's take a look. You got Chalice, who's getting close to finishing off this Manta. Where is FY in the Diffusal story? Okay, he's 100 off the Robe of the Magi, so that means he's 800 gold away from the Diffusal in total. Well, now when I say it, it's 700, but I am thinking once it gets this defusal, it should be the blink next. If they're going to go that 4 position Ricky build, I want to see what he's able to accomplish once he gets that blink dagger.
Dude, look at this build from Old 11. I love that he didn't go for this Orchid. I think all the physical damage reduction items are so much more important in this game. He's got AC queued up. Like this, Nature's Prophet's actually massive at the moment. So like this,
third on the net worth. He's going into the AC, picked up the Vlads. Well, why do you like this more than just the Orchid though? What's the big difference?
Because the thing, this game's all going to come down to like just grouping up and fighting the whole time, right? So like Orchid's okay because it allows them to get on the back line and potentially kill off one of the supports, but they just need to tank up. Because if they can out-sustain this Nusa throughout the fight by like getting halberds up onto her.
They've got FY right there. Arena comes in, they'll get the spear, but the damage comes out, and Old 11 will get the kill here onto the Mars.
Big pick off. And they still have this Aegis, remember, as well, so yeah, we have had a pause, but we have to remember they still have that here. And yeah, I love that Chalice is TPing down here. They want to try and take a fight. And so Old 11 has TP up as well. Ricky's coming in as well. And I think DY might be in a little bit of trouble here. Great observer.
Promise immediately.
This observer from X-Nova, man, is so good. You see where DY is at the moment, just to the left? Yeah, like, they'd start picking it out instantly. Like, this is like relentless aggression from LGD, and it's all being enabled because of this vision that X-Nova is getting down. It's actually so hard to play against. And they're going to start chipping. There's a wave coming in. And this Zeus is not even nearby at the moment. She's just picked up the butterfly. So at least she has that to work with now. But, I mean, the tier 3 is almost gone.
Ooh, good doppelganger from Chalice.
They used Spear on Yang as well to cancel his blink. That was so sick from Chalice. Or you guys saying he's not a 1 player in chat. This is what you get. He sees.
Well, if they lose one game, he's no longer a 1 player. But if he wins this series, he's still no longer a 1 player.
Oh, they
Swap comes in, Magic Missile, and X-Nova. Jeez, that bash doing X-Nova dirty from half to dead. FY, there's the Corrosive Haze, so he's in a lot of trouble. The Fortune's End comes in. They'll get themselves a second. I believe Arena was used too.
Mid lane, Ori.
Soulbind onto the Medusa as well as the Slardar. They're looking to go in on this. They've got Old 11 Somnus and Chalice here, but it's as the Aegis runs out.
I think if they had Aegis there, they probably would have taken the fight, but to go without is a little bit crazy. No need to throw the game away there. And yeah, this butterfly from Ori, though, is going to be such a massive pickup for him. I wonder what... He's got his own butterfly queued up on Chalice. Okay. I think that's okay, too.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
He might still go back for the MKB, but, I mean, Butterfly this game is a really good choice. Like we said, it's all physical damage on the Radiant, so...
Chat's confused. They think I know the inside information of
Radiant are scanning.
if Ame is actually going to come in for game 2. It was theoretical, guys. A theoretical situation. A hypothetical situation, not theoretical. Hypothetical situation. It's just a joke. Relax. It's okay.
X-Nova skill build, by the way, very indecisive. He's unsure.
Dire's
3-3-3-1. Jesus.
So he goes for the 3 points in Phantom's Embrace early on, which is okay. I don't mind that too much. And then he goes back for 3 points in Inkswell because he's like, okay, it's still a decent skill, even though they have Oracle. Now he's like, well, I'm probably just going to max out Stroke of Fate just for the damage. And the movement speed slow on that skill is pretty good as well. 1.5 second of 70% slow. Ooh, hang on. Orb of Destruction for the Radiant side. Is that a
That's a big one. That makes up for the Nether Shawl.
There's one on the PL though as well. So they're going to give that to the Ember for the poke with the Sleight of Fist, who actually went back for Mjolnir, by the way, instead of going for that halberd. Interesting. Maybe feeling like they need a little bit more damage output, but also like you just put the Mjolnir on somebody in the fight like yourself, and there's just constant poke damage coming through all the time. So I'm just not sure if I like it up against this Oracle, especially. but it's going to increase their damage output, which is nice.
Radiant's
What's
top
the on
tower
here
is under attack.
active called? Static charge. Okay.
Passive
Dire's
chain
middle
lightning.
tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But I bet everybody knew the passive and not the active.
Oh, the telescope. The attack range stacking up on the Deucer.
Jesus. That's got to go to Oracle, right?
Yeah, I would
think?
assume so.
Somebody?
Yeah, it's coming out in the courier.
No, it's coming out on the bench.
Oh, okay. I mean, she had Faded Brooch before, so...
Which isn't a bad idea, because now Oracle gets the cast range from Keen Optic, and...
yeah, it's
telescope.
also because PIW has the illusion, right, for when he dies. So that the telescope will still be up with the Venjora.
Blink Southern Crush on the FY Spear. It sticks.
Oh, hold it
Get
left.
the kill here onto FY. Hold on, that was such an
Double
aggressive
Sprout!
two-piece. Sprout on a both. Swap comes through as well as the Fortune Zan, but they've got the stun on the Eurus, as well as the Phantom's Embrace. Somna's thinking about going in, Ori joining over.
The double Sprout, it's back. Was I casting with you when the double Sprout meme happened? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Oh, Spear again. This one hits Chalice. And Chalice goes into the Doppelganger. There's the Arena. Good Arena by Eurus, but Eurus now out of mana. The Phantom's Embrace comes in with the BKB being popped by the Mars. There's the Mystic Snake as well as the Stone Gaze. They're doing a lot of damage onto the Phantom Lancer. He's trying to get out of this one, but he's stunned up and will end up going down. Nobody dead on Vici's end, and they get a huge kill taking out this PL.
Yeah, just as minimum roast time has hit as well. But also, like, this Deuce has BKB coming out in the courier. Like, it doesn't matter if Vici are a little bit behind here, because their lineup's still really strong at what it does. Like, there's a butterfly on the Deucer. Her damage output is still crazy, and they managed to find the Ricky first in the fight, which I think is probably the biggest hero they could have found. Because the utility that he offers in terms of his net worth is crazy. And he does just die really quickly to anybody when he gets picked off.
And next queued up is the Divine Rapier for Medusa.
Yeah, I think it's perfect though, right? I don't know if anybody in chat saw yesterday. There was a fantastic game between Na'Vi and Alliance. I don't think... Have you seen it, B-Cop? That happened in the week.
I have not seen it as DY dies to FY.
So,
or to
basically,
Old 11, technically.
Na'Vi were in control the whole game with they had a Deucer with a rapier. All of a sudden, she goes to like take an active rune, I think it was, or something. She dies, and then Alliance just run down the lane and win the game. It was so heartbreaking that they made like one mistake and then the game just ends. But that's the thing about the rapier, right? You have to be so careful about it. You know where you're going, what you're doing.
For sure, and I've seen some Divine Rapier situations that have ended horribly, especially here in the Chinese region. Back a few years ago, it might have even been like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Sylar playing Weaver gets the Divine Rapier from the secret shop. As he picks it up, gets double ravaged and drops the rapier. The second he makes it, calls GG. That's the end. I believe it was when he was on, I want to say Vici J Thunder. So that's, yeah, that's, I think it was late 2017 when that happened. So it's a while now.
So the other thing about the Deucer Rapier is like that when she gets it, this PL's committed to Butterfly already. So the True Strike, and when she hits level 25, she gets a split shot on modifier, so everything's getting True Strike, or like all her hits. I think this Deuce is going to be really difficult to deal with because of this BKB pairing with... Like, she needs to try and get this BKB off before she gets Halberd, and they're going to go for this Roche here.
Which is almost a necessity. I feel like if they don't get this Aegis, he might even switch off the Divine Rapier.
Yeah, he might not combine them until he has the Aegis, but... Xavia's going to try and poke, but it's just too late. Like, they take it so quickly with the Sladder and the Venge minus armor. The only thing I'll say about this Aegis is, this is exactly how I felt about the game yesterday between Na'Vi and Alliance with the Deucer, is that they get the Aegis on the Deucer, which is fine, but she doesn't have the Rapier yet, right? So, by the time she picks up this Rapier, the Aegis is only going to have like 2 minutes or so left, maybe? And you have this really small window where your Deuce is going to be insanely protected with this Aegis with the Rapier. But as soon as it runs out, LGA are going to run at you and like try and take it like straight away.
Ooh,
They find the backlines first.
Coming from the back. They've got the Side Fist as well as the Searing Chains. It only locks up the Venge, but they've got the Soulbind on it too. This is a problem for the Medusa who goes into the Mantle, but they get the kill on a PYW. They look for the rest. Now binding himself over to Eurus, goes over to the side, gets DY. DY wants to survive and have a false promise to throw, but doesn't have that. So he's forced to buy back. Or he pops the BKB. They've got the spear hitting on Old 11. Eurus taking a lot of damage, as is Old 11 with the Corrosive Haze on him. And DY, of course, he's right there to get the Purifying Flames kill. More forward. They've got themselves FY with the tricks of the trade. BKB's been popped by Yang now. Saunders back into the fight. They've disarmed.
Oh my god.
Massive damage onto this Medusa. Dead for the first time. Spear hits onto the sprouted trees. Yang hit with the false promise, so he'll survive for now. But now you don't have the false promise for the Medusa, who's out of mana and out of time. Dead for the second time. LGD overwhelm Vici and take this fight with flying numbers.
Yeah, amazing fight for LGD there. They managed to find the backline first. And if you kill off this Venge and then the Oracle straight away, like the fight looks massively in your favor straight away, because like all the save potential's gone, right? And that Dusa died so quickly. This butterfly on PL is doing huge amounts of work.
Swap, but swap again. PYW ends up dead, gone for 50, no buyback. Medusa does have buyback, but Medusa doesn't want to use it. She wants to hold it as long as she can so she can get into that Divine Rapier and give the team a fighting chance.
Because the
Like,
thing,
we'll see if LGD, how much they can get. There's still a tier 2 mid.
Even if Dusa buys back there, like without the Oracle, she can't play as aggressive as she wants. And like the thing is, they'd rather give up 2 sets of racks and try and let the Dusa get to the Rapier. Because if they don't, like they can't fight into this PL with Butterfly at the moment anyway. So there's no point Dusa being in the fights and doing the damage if she doesn't have the Rapier, because it's the only way they win the game now at this point. And they're going to try and push this tier 2 mid, I assume, on LGD.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also, I will say we've seen a lot of Divine Rapiers this event. It's been a fun one. I think it's just such a better item since the change.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good to see that item because it's such high risk reward. It makes like really good viewing. And yeah, they take the last tower on the map. Mid lane. And there's does he have a heart soon on PL? Oh my god, he does.
Arena, Spear. They found F-Fly. You get the kill. Eurus gets credit for that one. 1,800 gold away from that Divine Rapier.
They're getting there, but I mean, at this point, I don't even know if it's enough anymore. I guess, oh no, they have the Vlads on the Venge. Okay, that makes things a little bit easier, because at least she has some form of lifesteal now on the Dusa.
And move forward, PYW with the swap magic missile hits on Axe Nova, but they'll get the kill on Avenge. Yang now forced to use that BKB and TP out.
Jeez. Yang going crazy here. Almost has save your buddy syndrome. And they are 850 gold off the Rapier, guys. Is it going to happen? Look at this dude, the ward on at the high ground next to the secret shop.
Jesus.
She has a Wraithband she can sell as well here, remember. So it's only like 500 gold or so really. That she needs. And with this wave pushing top, she might just about get it. It's going to be really close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still a few hundred gold off. Has a wand she could sell as well. Oh, she's just going to TP away.
Ooh, interesting. Spell Prism.
Okay. Pretty good Ember Iron.
Hammer.
Yeah, they're going to give it to maybe.
And the Magic Lamp. Wow.
Magic Lamps would be very nice on the Radiant side as well, if they could pick them one up. But they are unable to find their items at the moment, being stuck in their base. And I think this is the Rapier coming out on the Dusa, like right now. They're going to smoke towards the secret shop to get it. And this has to be like the big fight for them.
It's going to be Rapier into a fight too. Rapier comes over, Courier goes back.
They want old 11. He's going to TP away. Oh no.
Radiant's
Oh,
middle
he's not.
tower is under
Oh, he
attack.
is. He's debating me. Oh, big smoke.
Going forward, Eurus gets the arena down, but they've got the silence. Here's to get about the BKB Medusa. What can he do? He's got help, and let's see what he can get. BKB coming over, Stone Gaze used. They've gotten themselves around ult 11. They get the kill into PYW as well as DY, but the BKBs are going to start to run out. The False Promise is finally up on Ori. The Remnant forward. They get the kill into ult 11, so they'll take out the Nature's Prophet. Chalice working some magic here onto Yang, but he gets the Slithering Crush. Ori surrounded, in trouble. Down goes Yang. He'll be forced to buy back, but they've gotten themselves around Eurus. They take out the Mars. They look at the Medusa. Only a bit of health left, and that's the Divine Rapier on the deck. Ooh, geez. Yeah, there's the GG. No surprise. Divine Rapier in the hands of Chalice, and not certain he has ping problems, but it's not going to matter as game one goes the way of LGD.
I think it was Somnus in that fight, by the way, that got the halberd off onto the Dusa just before she popped BKB. And so there was a 5-second duration in that fight where Dusa was BKB'd and couldn't hit anybody. Which is, fantastic. Which, we go back to the itemization from LGD. It was so good this game. Like, they have all the physical damage resistance being built on, like, Old 11. They have the Vanguard on the Somnus Ember as well. But I think this halberd was so key for them, like, on both their cores in Ember and Nature's Prophet. Yeah. And not only that, but I think the tempo that they played this game on LGD was because the thing is, it's like Deuce is farming, which is, like, really annoying for them, obviously, like, getting watched. But Eurus and Yang are just falling further and further behind because they don't have any map to be farming on, right? And I also, this Mars pick that was obviously like first phased, right? It's such a difficult Mars game. You're playing against PL that can get out of arena. You're playing against Ricky that can get out of arena. Somnus on this Ember can just jump out